All right, we'll kind of just do a little bit of fucking jump cuts between, whatever else I have to get. So I'm thinking a solid opener is fucking eggs. So, I mean, this is only food for 2 days. I'll just get 2 dozen. Actually, I think I lied. There we go. 3 dozen will be a little better. Zero sugar A&W root beer. Not that there's a specific dieting purpose for like 0-calorie drinks, apart from the fact that it's just kind of a sweet treat. The more calorie, I don't want to say calorie safe, but let's just say calorie effective options that you can go for. I mean, we're about to get into a couple more, but like, low sugar barbecue sauce, diet soda, whatever. Like, this stuff adds up. You got to think, if you're drinking 3 sodas, let's say you drink 3 Cokes in one day. I mean, that's 120 carbs. Do you really need 120 grams of carbs? Certainly not if you're dieting. But eggs, soda. Let's cut to what's next. It's actually a little bit far from where we're at. I don't think we have to turn this into a whole one-shot podcast. Yep. Now, usually I'd want to go for the fat-free cheese, but I do just love like the single Americans. So certainly not what I would call my most diet-friendly like snack choice, but what are you gonna do? So I've got to be a little bit meticulous here in the fucking cheese aisle because I'm looking for, I mean, there's literally 100 fucking things of cheese right here, and I need 2 of them in a very specific style, and they know just how to hide them too. Oh, spotted. There we go. I'll always get the Kraft fat-free mozzarella and cheddar. So if I make an omelet with, let's say, 12 egg whites, and I throw 3 pieces of that American cheese on the inside of it, and then fold it over, that's an extra 150 grams of calories. Oh, that's an extra 150 calories. Whereas, and it's coming from fats and carbs, and I'm not really getting anything out of it. For me to eat some keto bread as a carb source, I'm gonna be pretty full for not that many carbs. But for me to take in, I think like 12 grams of fat from that cheese, and then 6 grams of carbs, I mean, it's not very filling at all. So the fat-free cheese, I mean, the macros are actually kind of freaking buffed for a whole, 28 grams, 9 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, 0 fat. I guess that's obvious from the name of it. But all these little things, I can't emphasize enough how much they add up to changing the amount of calories that you get in per day without having to feel like you're just starving yourself. So cutting straight into another classic. Live carb smart buns. Honestly, I've got to eat today, tomorrow, and the next day. I'm going to get 3 of these. So they're fucking, they're not even that much more expensive than normal. A normal pack of the hamburger buns is like $3.50. These are $5, so a little more, but the macro difference is insane. So let's just look at this, just random ass hamburger buns. You're cutting it down from 20 grams of carbs to 3. I think that's a no-brainer in a dieting context, especially. So honestly, we're getting close to the end. I have a ton of food I say home, at my parents' house. So it's not like I have to restock a whole kitchen right now. I'm just getting some things that I need. So I've been doing ground beef, but honestly, I kind of been liking steaks too. So I think I'll get a little bit of each. And again, I'm still looking for the lowest calorie source possible. So for ground beef first, I'm not gonna grab 80-20, that's insane. This is probably the leanest I've ever seen. Just 96% lean. So, I mean, not nothing. But when you drain it out, I mean, it's pretty much close. Like, let me look actually. So I'll just cook the whole thing at once and kind of like meal prep it. But this whole thing, it says 9 grams. Oh, no. 18 grams of fat. But when I cook it up and I, pour it into a strainer to drain the fat out, I've got to get at least half of it out. So I only counted as like 9 grams for the whole thing. That's not my most exact aspect, but you drain out a ton of fat when you drain off the ground beef. So now I think I'll just get some kind of steak. Oof. I was really getting into the sirloins at the end of the bulk, but they're just so fatty. I mean, there's no point for me to eat one now. I don't know if it even shows the, no, I'm not sirloin. What am I talking about? I was talking about ribeye. Yeah, I was doing a ton of ribeyes, but like it's like 30 grams of fat each. You can just taste how rich they are. So I've been leaning a little bit more so towards top rounds. Oh yeah, this looks pretty good. 1 pound, $10. Yeah, a little something, but I guess it doesn't show the macros. So this is the kind of food where I'm not going to be able to just look at the back and read off the macros like per pound or per ounce or per whatever. I'm actually going to have to go online and look up like, top round so-and-so macros. Usually the website I'll go to the most is like Calorie King, and you'll be able to plug in like the exact weight of it. It gets kind of weird too, because when you do that, you have to like look up and make sure that you're using the right measurement. Because I can look up the weight, like, 4 ounces of the top round steak, whatever. But you got to make sure when you do that, that it says, cooked or raw. Usually, for the most part, I like to measure it out raw, just because you never, like, let's say you cooked it really well done and it's super dry, a ton of water came out of it. I mean, you're just adding complexity to the aspect of weighing it. So I think weighing it in its raw state is probably your best method. So, buns, eggs, fat-free cheese as well as normal, ground beef, a steak. Oh yeah. So when I make the egg whites, just plain eggs, it's kind of bland. I mean, it's not the most interesting, I don't want to be a food critic, but say mouthfeel. So instead of just making plain eggs, what I'll do is I'll get like a pre-chopped bag of salad. I'm not gonna use the dressing, of course, but I'll just pour the lettuce kind of into the egg whites and kind of mix it up. Just because once it gets cooked, I mean, like once it gets cooked, it kind of gives the eggs a little bit more texture. Which one of these looks good? Yeah. Just something like this. Perfect. So honestly, that's all I fucking need. Well, let me think for like one more second. But obviously, there's no donuts, there's no cereal. I was walking by the chocolate milk, I was getting a little bit distracted, but that's just how you gotta do it. You gotta take the bulk with the cut. So, I'm definitely starting to feel the calorie deficit. I'd give it maybe, no, not even. I say we got 4 weeks left. 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks of trimming down, and then we can start bulking up again. I'm getting a little bit too excited. I need to not jump the gun on it. But that's pretty much about all I'm gonna get for the next couple of days. I'm gonna eat different kind of food at home, but this is just stuff that I'm getting from me specifically. If your mom's getting all your groceries, if you're in my high school kid demographic, then just give her a little grocery list, tell her you want some this, that, or the other. Ideally, she'll get it for you. That'll be perfect. It gets kind of funky tracking all your macros and stuff if you're only eating like food that your mom cooks. So I mean, ever since I started lifting, even early high school, the house kind of transitioned from like family meals to everybody kind of doing their own stuff, just because we all kind of eat our own way. But I think that's it. Let's cut to the car talk for our arms.